right, welcome back to another edition of Each One Teach One. My name is Isan, founder of Ulon. You can go to Ulon.Life and feel free to call in tonight, 312-738-1060. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. Tonight, we have a special guest representing, of course, the West Side. Our very own Chicago's leading advocate, powerful queen, Ms. Zerlina Smith. Introduce yourself, my beautiful queen.
Thank you. Well, I'm Zerlina Smith. The hair is normally a lot bigger. I'm blessed to be here. I'm so thankful to be here. What don't Zerlina do? They call me the octopus.
The octopus lady.
My hands is in everything, and I'm glad tonight's focus is on the West Side, and I'm just here to give out a little bit more information on a lot of things that's going on the West Side, and hopefully people will call in at 312-738-1060.
They always do. It's usually
so we got to make sure that you call in, because I'm going to give you some powerful information about a lot of things that's going on, and if you live on the West Side, we really need your support and help on a lot of things that we have going on.
Right. So now, usually we're all over the city. This is not excluding the South Side or the North Side, or what we call the East Side. There's really no such thing as the East Side.
We include the whole city. We include the whole
right.
city.
But we do want to focus on the West Side because a couple of things are happening on the West Side. Correct? Right.
There's a lot of things.
So let's start with. And again, feel free to call in at the numbers at the bottom, 738-1060. Zerlina, Miss Octopus, lady. Miss Queen. So the West Side, I've been hearing a lot about this program where they're coming out there. The police are actually building some type of
training facility.
Yes, training
facility. The police and the fire department.
And so I know it's kind of up in the air. People are talking about it. It can bring certain things such as revenue capital to the West Side. What's your take on that? Why don't you tell the people a little bit about it, what you know about it first?
Okay, first off, let's talk about this. This is a very intense topic for a lot of people around the city of Chicago because of the dollar amount that's being spent for this new police and fire academy that's being built over on the west side of Chicago between, off Chicago Avenue and Costner by the old garbage incinerator. What they plan on doing is building houses, putting shopping centers, and a lot of things that people don't know. We haven't had development on the west side since the Martin Luther King riot. So for me being a West Sider and knowing that if we bring this facility that's going to house over 500 individuals, plus give them the opportunity to buy affordable housing in the community with someone like Isan, if he chose to move west to buy a house.
Well, I'm always out west. Don't get it twisted.
And we need him to buy a house out there. We need everybody to buy more property in the city of Chicago. But this will bring actual revenue that's so badly needed. And knowing that if they put that right there, that there's a possibility that more developers will take a look into the West Side and stop looking at just the violence, but looking at that we have prime location for real estate to bring the things that are so badly needed to the West Side, which is jobs and housing. And that's something that no one has spoke about. And Monday, downtown at City Hall, the 37th Ward, the 37th Ward Alderman Mitz, 27th Ward Walter Burnett, 28th Ward Jason Irvin, they will be motioning bringing it to the floor. So they're looking for people who live on the west side or wherever to come down there and show support and just give their testimony, whether they support it or not, but to just be involved so we'll have the full story and the plan as to what's going on with that. Because for me, I support it. I support it cold-heartedly because that gives our children who are at the age of 16 in the state of Illinois a better opportunity if they choose to drop out of high school, that there's a possibility that they can go over there and they can get into some youth programs that they have to offer, whereas they can potentially become whether it's a police officer or a firefighter.
Okay. I noticed that, that area would be pretty big. I mean, you're talking about buildings and what else? I mean, so it's a whole development?
A whole development.
Okay.
It's more than
Be
just
specific
that
about
academy.
that. Right.
It's more than just that academy. It is housing. It is little shopping centers.
When you say housing, what do you mean exactly?
They plan on building apartments. They plan on building single-family housing. They plan on building townhouses. A lot of things will be developed on that land. That land has been sitting there unused for so many years that if they do what the actual blueprint is that we can create maybe 20,000 new housing for just people. You think about how many times have we gotten information at the last minute. In the city of Chicago, they just had this program with home ownership in the city of Chicago that nobody knew about. Today was the last day to submit those papers for you to qualify for this money that the city has for you to get an incentive to purchase a home. So think of it this way. You get a brand new house, a brand new condo. If they have apartments, you get all these amenities in a community that is ridden with violence. But now they're showing you that they're trying to bring about some type of change. And to me, the change is knowing that I don't have to leave my community to go grocery shopping, knowing that I'll get new neighbors. Hopefully, people will come in and look at the West Side in a new light, because we need so much that we can't fight against everything because we have nothing.
Right. So, as of now, I notice a lot of the gentrification or the rehabbing has been by the Bull Stadium.
Of course.
And of course, we know it's the end of Burnett's area. And Burnett, of course, is from, our neck of the woods, from Cabrini. But, I mean, it's good to see that, he's still stuck in there, after all these years. Let me ask you this. For those who just are so let's just say anti-police. Let's just throw it out there,
Okay.
There's a lot of people anti-police. What can this new development offer, whereas you're still not connected to the police, but you still want to take advantage of some of the things that, this whole program and development will offer the youth?
Okay. Well, when you look at it as from an activist, because let's make it real clear, I'm an activist, but we also have to remember that when you see Zerlina out, Zerlina comes out for a particular person, not the whole police department. And if we honestly want to be more engaged in what's really going on in our city and in our communities, we have to sometimes open our minds and get into these spaces that we tend to overlook to get all the information and not just have half of the information. So for the anti-police individuals, I'll say get in contact with the city, the planning department, and see what they're really bringing to this community. And we're not saying support the actual police, because remember, we're going to have firefighter training over there as well.
Right.
It's going to be multiple things sitting on this lot. And for the West Side, if you're not from the West Side, just drive through the West Side and you will see no development. So if you see this coming and you look at this massive amount of land from Costner all the way from Chicago Avenue, I'll do north and south. You'll do Chicago Avenue to Lake Street. And then you'll have from west to east, you'll have almost up to Pulaski, wherever that stops off at, because there's so many loops and turns around this little area. But you'll have something.
That was like a ghost town for a long time, wasn't it?
It still is a ghost town. It still is a ghost town.
Old developments.
The old garbage. The old garbage incinerator sits right there. So when you think about the potential of having this there, when we have so many people paying market rate rent because of the Section 8 vouchers and the waiting list for that, you think about it this way: first time home ownership. Think of it this way. Think of it that way. And when you think of it that way, think about us really getting back to what our roots is. Just because they're coming in, that's still our community.
Right.
That's still our community.
Right. Okay, so what would you say to those, say for instance, that are in the borderline areas of, because we know anything past Madison, becomes south again, because Madison is 0. So say for instance, someone who's on 18th to like 25th. Okay. They consider themselves West Siders because they may be past, let's just say, Ashland. Okay. But not as far as Western. Okay. So they're in between. So is there an area where, like, say, for instance, public schools? If y'all live in a public school area, I am able, no matter what, to go to that school. Are they offering those people in that, I guess you could say,
that area,
individual area of that
access to
zip
the
code?
things?
Yeah. Do they have access no matter what? Or is it just for the academy itself?
Well, to my understanding, there was nothing in the blueprint that said a school would be developed. So if families come, they would already be occupying the building spaces for education that we already have, which would help, because if no one knows, we have 4 more schools on the chopping block that CPS wants to close on the west side of Chicago. And they close our schools by saying underutilization. And remember this, who wants to buy property in a community with underdevelopment? Who wants to buy school properties in a community with underperforming schools because they have a lack of resources because of this per pupil funding. So with the families coming for these trainings,
Right.
they bring something to help us grow, to help us fight, and to help us to continue to advocate for the things that are so badly needed in our communities.
Okay. So what stage is this at now, would you say? Is this all on the, on the table? Is it already started? Like, where we at with this?
It's still on the table. Like I stated, Monday morning at City Hall, 9 a.m. Get there. You'll get to see the plan, the blueprints, everything will be there, the budget, the layout. You get more detailed information. And if you're there to actually take in what's going to be given to you, then I suggest you go. And if you're there to protest, I suggest you go as well. But be fair and let everyone hear how this is going to benefit, especially the people on the west side.
Okay, alrighty. So that's a great tip to know. I want you guys to remember that we're still here for you. You can call in at 738-1060, 312 area code. Also, we do have to mention that we still have room in one of the women facilities of Ulon. So you guys get a pen because we still have room for, if you know a woman who is homeless, or say for instance is just bouncing. And when I say homeless, you don't have to live under a viaduct, but just bounce from this guy's house to this girl's house. She has clothes over here, and she wants to work. She's willing. She's a sister, who's really, really wanting to get back in society. She's tired of being broke. Whatever the case is, she wants her own. Tell her call 312-834-8020. Again, 312-834-8020. Get those pens. I'll be mentioning through the rest of the show. 312-834-8020. Okay.
Right.
All right. So,
And I want to cut the hopes off, but that goes back to me as well. I am the founder of Increase the Harvest, which is a not-for-profit organization. And we have a show as well here on Monday mornings. Well, I'm saying Monday mornings, Monday evenings, 6 p.m. every first Monday of the month. Please know that everything that this young man is doing right here, Mothers Who Care is an entity. It's a family component. We're here not just for the mothers, but we're here for everybody. And one thing that I do bring with being a pain to a lot of people is a lot of resources. So when he asks you to call, because we work together as a team regardless of what side of town we live on. And we're trying to make sure that no child goes to bed hungry. We're trying to make sure no one has to go from house to house and they have their own stability with a roof over their head. So if you even think that you need any help and you can't reach this brother, reach out to me at resources at increasetheharvest.com. No,
Get your
.org.
pens.
Okay?
Please remember, this is a good show where we're going to give you a lot of information. So please get a pen, a paper. If you got your cell phones, lock this information in. Go to your pad on your cell phone. Everybody got a memo pad, right?
That's right.
So,
That's right. Write it down.
I
Write
need you
it
to say
down.
that again.
You can reach me at resources at increasetheharvestinc.org, and I'll give you my cell phone number because everybody has my number, 312-487-9274. Once again, my personal cell phone number is 312-487-9274.
And don't be trying to date my baby now. You know what I'm saying? We ain't getting down like
I don't have the time. I don't have the time
to
to date, but I do have the time to be the change that I want to see for my people.
For the people. That's right. We are here. Okay, so moving right along, we are going to kind of, like I said, stay on the west side a little bit. What else is going on out there on the west side, girl? Go on and tell. We keep it 100 on the show. Zerlina is really out there on these streets. She's an advocate for the people. So pray tell, what else we got going on?
Let's see. Every Wednesday, if weather permits, we go out. We do pop-up blocks where we go to different blocks on the west side. We feed the community. We pass out resources. We know that people will not come to us, so we go on to them. Only thing that's killing us right now is that it's been raining. But rain, sleet, or snow, we're normally out.
People still hungry.
We're normally out passing out those resources and feeding our community. That's every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And each block is defined by what we come up with before that Wednesday comes up. And also, we do the Mothers Who Care. We do a once a month meeting where we get together. This month, we'll have a pop-up pamper event where you can come out, you can eat. It's going to be martini night. I suggest you. It's family oriented.
You gotta be a mama. What about
it can be dads too, and it's honestly, it's one of the best places to come because I have the resources there. And this month is at my house. You can actually go to Facebook and you can go to Increase the Harvest Facebook page, and you'll get the information as to where that's located at. And we'll have someone there cooking for us. If you choose to come out and buy some things, we'll have a vendor there to sell some cooking utensils. If you want to get your Christmas gifts on early, We'll have that going on. And we have, because I sit on multiple boards as well, so remember, I am the octopus woman. We have the Fathers Who Care 15th annual community event coming up, and that is Friday, November 17th, 2017, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. at the Columbus Park Reflectory, 5701 West Jackson Boulevard. So if you want to come out and be a part of that, Fathers Who Care is a beautiful organization that does a lot of work with our youth and our parents on the west side of Chicago. That's where Mothers Who Care come from. Come out and join that and get to know us, and that's an event that I promise, regardless of how many things I blow off, I won't miss this, and you won't either.
Right.
Okay?
It's also fair to say, too, for our Southside people, remember, we love our city, period. You're always welcome to come down, just because on the west side, there's a lot of Southside people that actually come to these events, because I've been there.
Yes.
And they're from all over. I mean, people just come because they want to help.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So don't make it a Southside, Westside thing, because it's not when it comes to us.
That's right. And
love.
we have to come together. And
exactly.
then you also, and before I keep cutting him off, and this is his show, I'm used to my own.
Girl, do you? It's about you today. The octopus lady in the house, right next to me. Come on.
We have the annual Fathers and Families Thanksgiving Dinner for Peace, dated November 16th, 2017 at 5 p.m. until 9 p.m. at George Leland STEM School, which is located at 512 South Laverne. This is free. Come out. We pass out free home cooked meals, toys. I mean, we set it out for the community. And like I say, if I can't show you, I can't tell you. We have nothing but support from a lot of our elected officials, and they're not just from the south side. The west side, they're from the south side, the north side, all over that support this event. So call in. Whatever you want, call in. 312-738-1060. And let us know if we're doing our part here by giving you whatever information you need, whatever else we can assist you with.
Definitely. Well, the phone line's still blowing up. I got to give a little quick shout out before we go to these phones real quick to the hard-working people at my Seashell crew. You know what I'm saying? My boy Mo, Zuzu, my boy Dion, you know what I'm saying?
Me too,
Big G, everybody, you know what I'm saying? That's my Seashell crew, you know what I'm saying? You know who you are, you know what I'm saying? It's a time, little phony fan, you know what I'm saying? No, you got to name the whole people. But
I got to shout out to my people too. Let's do my non-violence family who out here keeping the peace in the Austin and the Garfield community.
All right, non-violence in the house. Caller, we want to go to these calls real quick. Caller, you are on the air. Let's hear it. Will each one teach one? Caller, you still there?
Sir. Yes, sir. My name's Ray.
Hey, how you doing?
I call every week. That's a beautiful program. You have them all over the city.
Yes.
Which is great. But you know what's going to help us? Jobs. And we can't get any jobs. Let me tell you something. African American and Hispanics have fought hard to get the majority for aldermen.
Okay.
Guess what? Not a thing has been done. So what we got to do, like there's hundreds of millions of dollars of construction. Guess what? We don't have one African American or one Hispanic construction company getting any of that business. Oh, we work there, but we don't have any say so. And I'm tired of calling the alderman and asking them, what can you do?
Right.
Well, I want to look into it. They've been looking into it since 2 years ago, 20 years ago. And now we got the majority, this minority. Still nothing is done. So don't tell me vote for your people, or the color of your people. Man, vote for somebody that's going to do something for you. I don't care what color he is.
That's right.
And that's the only way. The lady does a great job, but come on, let's get her some money, jobs, and this will be a beautiful world. My Chicago will be a beautiful city again.
There you go. All righty. Well, thank you, caller. You know what? I would like to address some of that real quick. I think it's very important. One of the biggest things that we've always had every election is that, the people come out, they give a good spiel, and at the end of the day, a lot of people still go home and vote for color. And I just think that, like he said, you need to do the research. You need to find out what does this person believe in. because you might have an Irish guy who's more pro-Hispanic and black than, you know what I'm
Hispanic
saying?
and a black guy.
That's right. So you really need to do your homework. You need to find out what their track record is, what have they done in the past, what area are they, and what precinct is over in that area, and then see the correlation with them. You know, has he worked with any of these, firefighters or police officers? Has he worked with the community? Or has she done? What is her track record? Because voting is very credibility in our city with numbers. Chicago's always been such a diverse area where you have a group of Italians here, blacks, Hispanics, Chinese, and it comes from Daly's daddy. You know what I'm saying? It was so segregated at one time. So now that it's finally, the boiling, pot is coming together, and we're finally getting a little bit of more mixing, then we need to take advantage of that now and work with those other, nationalities and ethnicities despite their backgrounds, you know what I'm saying, and despite their color, but what have they done?
You know what, if I elaborate on that, considering I ran for alderman of the 29th ward in the last election, and I ran a grassroots campaign. Grassroots meaning I had no money, right? But it was 8 people running. I came in 4th place. At the end of the day, if we continue to keep allowing the same old politicians in office and then let them get into our races where they go out and they endorse and support a candidate because they have the money to pay them, and we support that person because of name recognition of the person that endorses and support them, then stupid on us, because we have so many issues that needs to be tackled. When you talk about jobs, what jobs have the current elected officials brought to our community?
Right.
Voter turnout is so low in communities of color. We know most Hispanic communities, most of them are undocumented. But in black communities, we just don't vote.
Right.
We just don't vote. And then look at the time that we have to go out and vote, the weather. We barely want to leave our house to go to work to pay a bill. So we need to look at putting caps on campaign contributions. We need to look at changing the times and the dates that voters supposed to turn out to vote to elect these people who have these cushion jobs and they only take care of themselves. They take care of their own personal interests, who don't have the people's interest. Because I'm sorry, I'm not voting for nobody just because they look like me, just because they talk like me. If they're not walking these streets and know somebody and been raised in a household that has been oppressed with whatever we're going through right now, how can you relate to what we need to get done?
Right. Exactly. And it goes by track record too.
But how do you have a track record if you're a first time elected official? What track record do you have? But that first track record.
Well, also too. You got to think about what do they do in college? How long have they been?
But you don't need a college education to.
No. I'm talking about what have they done while they were doing whatever at school they were doing. Because a lot look at Barack. Was out there while he was in school, all in the the grassroots.
In the hood.
You know what I'm saying? Right, doing what he had to do.
And after he got elected, then they tore down the projects because they seen the turnout for the black vote.
Yes. So everything is has a tick for tack. I want to commend that caller because that caller always calls in. You know what I'm saying? Good guy, and it's well noted that it is important that you do have to do the homework on these people because let's just face it, it's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better out here.
If we don't he said we shouldn't have to call these aldermen or our elected officials to ask for basic resources.
Right.
Like he said,
Jobs.
where's our black
Right.
contractors
Right.
at? We got Mark Carter who be out here advocating for so many black jobs, but people say Mark is crazy. Mark is crazy in his own way because Mark is passionate, and we have to understand that passion is always confused when you out here advocating for your people is crazy. Because when people see me coming, they be like, oh, here come Miss Crazy Smith, but they know I got something for them because I'm not coming empty-handed.
Right.
So we gotta learn how to get together. Just because you on the south side, you on the west side, when we start coming together, we can build and move these mountains. Because at the end of the day, what have we gotten fighting against each other? We have to come together at some point in time to say that jobs are ours, they're here, and we want to be at the forefront of the line as well, and not just working on them, but running those sites, having our own construction companies. We have so many black-owned contractors out here that people have not heard of because they don't have the money to advertise or get on that city's
and
list.
they're struggling, and I know a lot of them, personally, a lot of electricians, a lot of, Hispanic and black plumbers. I mean, they come to me all the time looking for work.
Bricklayers.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this. I want you guys, I dare you guys to go to our websites, and I have a space on mine where you can leave comments. I'm sure you have to. Keep letting people know about jobs that you hear about, because that's what we do. We want to post as many jobs as possible because I want people to start coming to our pages as a resource center.
That's
I've
right.
always been one, for so long, but it's just not for women. Like I said, now we're getting a men's, rehabbing a building for the men that come out of the penitentiary, that are leaving the gang situation alone and just want to work. Like the guy said, we need jobs. Why? Because it's capital, because it's money.
That's right.
So if I can give you a job instead of putting a sack of crack in your hand, where you don't have to look at the police, because I get all the gangbangers coming to me, man, I need a job, They want to leave the game alone.
Exactly.
They really want to leave the game alone, but you have to have something for them. You can't tell them, well, just leave it alone, look for a job. That's not going to work because they have to eat.
That's right.
And a lot of my young parents.
Yeah.
So, getting back to what I was saying is that we have to start reaching out to each other. When you find out about a job, don't hold it to your chest. If you have a Facebook, put it on there. That might be a blessing for somebody, which will in turn come back to you. Get in touch with our websites, because people are starting to go to these websites as a meeting point of saying, hey, look, and then you might see something on there that you can't do, but someone else can do. Might be a barber's job, whatever it is. So remember, always reach out. I want you to close it out, with some things you might want people to know, last minute thoughts, whatever you want to say, sister.
My last minute thoughts is the D-Day is here now. And if we don't learn to put the team into our communities, we are going to stay where we're at. And as my brother stated right here, you can Google me, you can Facebook me, hit my page. You can go to any page and pick up one of my websites, and it's always something on those pages in regards to resources. And we got to be the vision that we want to see in our community, because I'm tired of walking outside my door and it not being the vision of what I want it to be. So how can we expect it to be the vision for our children or our ex-offenders returning home? And if you want to be a part of some great things, look up the people that's really out here advocating, the ones who are being overlooked and not getting that dollar from these elected officials, the grassroots,
Right, the real
who out here
grassroots.
stumping these grounds and showing our people love, because we open our doors for people when everybody else's is full or closed.
Right. And I also want to say something real quick. Don't let these other advocates, if you have had a bad intention or a bad meeting with an advocate or somebody, or a what we call, saying just an activist, don't worry about that. Move on to the next, because there's a lot of good activists out here, and we really are out here for the people. We don't get paid for this. We're doing this, and we try to offer as much as we can. So get up with it. We love y'all, man. Just want to say, man, remember, each one teach one. I want to make sure that you give out your number one more time.
And my cell phone number is 312-487-9274. Once again, I don't sleep. I'm Octopus, and I'm not limited to the West Side. With all the organizations that I chair and I'm a part of, I go wherever my people need me, and I'm there 100%.
That's right. Remember, 312-834-8020. Ulon.Life. You can go to the website. We love y'all, man. Each one teach one, and don't stop there. Holla.
Good night.